Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is the Commando Cast, a video cast about all things Star Wars Destiny. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando. In the time since their debut set in January of 2021, the folks over at the Coruscant Initiative have been hard at work. Instead of going straight into more card design, they instead have been putting their focus into developing the framework for their future vision of their project. They've developed their own parallel DB, essentially SWDB 2.0, that has a TCI focus. Additionally, and quite incredibly, they've created their own online and browser-based program for playing TCI Destiny. With those non-trivial projects completed and their framework firmly set, TCI is releasing their second full-set Altered Pass, and I'm honored today to present 3 exclusive spoilers. Hey there, Star Wars Destiny folks, and happy Destiny Friday. Thanks for tuning in again today. So today we are talking TCI. Not only do I have spoilers, but first I kind of want to bring everybody up to speed if you aren't already aware of what's been going on over there, right? So we've known for a while that the SWDB has been, in need of some help, and actually, you guys may recall, I think this was back last spring, it got an update to actually have pull down so you could support TCI, ARH, and so on. And actually, the minds behind that were actually from the TCI project. They had reached out, basically said, hey, if we can get access, we can actually do the work for you. Then you'll just need to go and click a button. They went and did it. Developer uploaded it. And all of that was due to the work over on the TCI side, right? So they were the ones behind that. And in addition, in parallel, whatever, they've been working behind the scenes on, this is an ambitious project. They essentially are trying to enable, it allows browser-based play, right? That's what it does. You can play with their cards online in your browser. They have TCI Infinite and TCI Standard formats that are involved in that. They also have Dice Commando Smash, and they actually have Dice Commander Solo mode, which even I haven't played in a long time, but it is on there. So you can go and you can do all that in your browser, right? No TTS necessary. Which is very cool for people looking, because TTS does have an initial. TTS is great, but it does have an initial purchase price, and there's a learning curve to it. And having that option to just go in and do that for free and have access to their stuff is no joke, right? So impressive work done on their side. And as I mentioned in the intro, a lot of their work has been going into getting those frameworks, right? They know that without a DB, it becomes very, without a DB or a DV equivalent, right? Which there is their 2.0, it becomes very difficult to do what we do, to build decks and import these decks and do all that, right? I mean, that's certainly something that is needed. So they put a lot of work into that and getting that overhauled for the benefit of everyone in the community. And then this online browser thing as well, which just enables more people to be able to play. So, and again, they've been doing quite a bit of work over there. Most of this is outside of my level of expertise, and certainly outside of my level of time commitment that I'd be able to put into it. So props over there for that. So, all right, let's go ahead and go into the spoilers for their second set. Now, this is really their second and a half set. I mean, it's their second full set, right? But their first set came out in, I believe it was the beginning of last year. I think it was January, either late January, early February of last year when the TCI set came out. And then they had a mini set come out on May 4th. I think it was 18 cards. Don't hate me if that number is incorrect, but it was right in that range. It was a small mini set. But yeah, now so we are moving into Altered Pass, the next expansion. Here we go. So first card we have available is my boy Woody. If you don't know that reference, Google it. So we have Tobias Beckett playing the odds. So he's a 10-12 neutral yellow character, scoundrel. He has 10 health, 1 gun, 2 indirects. He has 2 disrupt for 1 indirects. We have 2 resource for 1 discard, and we have 2 resource for 1 resource, right? So you see a lot of pay sides on there, very diverse pay sides. The discarding a card yourself for play is actually quite interesting, right? Because, from a pure value standpoint, I don't know exactly where the TCI curve lays, but, in OG Destiny, it was essentially 1 card from hand was roughly equal to 1 value or so, right? So it's basic, you would basically consider from a value perspective that 2 resource for a discard and 2 resource for a resource to basically be functionally the same from a value standpoint. Now they're not quite the same because it certainly changes depending on what stage of the game you're in, right? But that's kind of the point, right? That's why they have it. So that's very interesting. So he has a power action: spend 1 resource to reroll 2 of your dice. Then, if they are both showing a cost, resolve them for free in any order. So that's quite interesting, right? Because he has 50%, right? So you have a 25% chance of hitting, right? Just at a basic level. But you get to resolve them for free. It's not like they get removed or anything like that, but it does cost you a resource to do it. So again, it's one of those, and do you need it in the moment, right? Do you need that 2 disrupt in the moment? Probably you're just going to go for cash early, but then you're playing the casino. But that's kind of what this guy, that's kind of what Tobias does anyway, right? I mean, he's Tobias Beckett. He's a scoundrel, right? So very, very cool. The 10-12 price point, this is a heck of a die for 2 points. Or is it, right? I think that's kind of the point. Do note that and when I was using the math here, right, I'm looking at his dice. Now it doesn't say that you have to re-roll only his dice, right? It's 2 of your dice. So you could just spend 1 die for a re-roll, essentially on those 2 dice as well. Obviously it works better if you have cost, but I mean, you could do that, and, could there be other dice out there that have a lot more costs on it? Maybe there could be. All right, next we go into Smart Moves. This is a 1-drop neutral yellow event. Resolve 1 of your dice showing a resource as if it were showing ranged damage, decreasing its cost by 1 and increasing its value by 1. Right? So just to be clear, resolve 1 of your dice showing a resource as if it were showing ranged. So in the case of Beckett that we were just looking at, right, he has 2 of those resource sides, right? So you can decrease its cost by 1, right? So the 2 resource for $1, the 2 resource for a resource, or the 2 resource for a discard, both of them would cost 0, and you would increase their value by 1, all for $1. That's pretty good value. It's kind of like, it's in the spirit of bait and switch. It's not bait and switch, but you guys know what I mean, right? It's in that spirit where you're using your resource to somehow turn damage. So basically, right, in both of those cases, right, the 2 resource for $1, the 2 resource for a discard, like we were talking about from the value perspective, in both of those cases, it's going to cost you 1 value, and you're playing 1 value plus a card from your hand. So this actually does fit. This does fit the value curve, right? Because you're paying 1 to not pay 1, right? So that one's equal, but you're doing card from your hand to increase value by 1. So this is actually on curve, and that's why I say it basically fits with the bait and switch, which it functionally lets you use one. The bait and switch type thing where it functionally lets you use 1 symbol as another. That's functionally what this is. Now, in the bait and switch case, right, you're flipping to another die so you can get more out of it. But that's functionally what you're doing here, right? So roughly the value is there. It's actually a little bonus value, right? Because card from hand to, maybe cost you a card from hand to flip. But, like in the case of bait and switch, you could in theory switch to any side, right? So, anyway, I think this one's pretty solid. It's a good card. Like, it's a very, very good card. Obviously, you're only playing, but again, it's one of those that you're only playing if you have certain things, right? So it makes sense, right? It does make sense. But, you're not going to play, you could play this on a 1 resource that's free, but, you're trying to play this on 2-for-1s, and if you don't have a bunch of 2-for-1s, then why are you playing it, right? There's probably better card slots. So I like this. This is a good, solid card. designed within that particular archetype. Right, so now keeping that in perspective, let's go to what I think's the big boy of the day, which is the DL19X blaster. Okay, so this is using the Relby die, which is actually one of my favorite guns from back in the day, boss gun. Right, so 3-drop, 2 gun plus 3 gun, 2 disrupt, resource, and a blank. Redeploy, remove this die to blast everybody. No, wait, that was the old one. All right, so redeploy. Before you resolve this die showing damage, if this upgrade is exhausted, increase its value by 2. Okay, how do I exhaust this? Power action, remove one of your character dice to exhaust this upgrade. That's kind of cool, right? So what you're basically doing functionally is aiming, right? You're taking a power action to basically charge the weapon, to aim the weapon, cock the weapon, whatever you want to call it, and then you get to fire off into it, right? I mean, so it costs you an action, it costs you a die. Now that die could be a blank. It does have to be a character die, right? Which is relevant. I think probably it would have been cooler to have it be attached characters die. That might have been in their testing a little too restrictive, so completely fair. But that's the thing, right? Is like, because generally you're going to have this on your big. So I think that, like, say you're running like, I don't know, a big and 2 Jawas or something, right? Like removing your Jawa die to charge your big, you know what I mean? That's all. So I think it would have been interesting to require it to remove the character die, because you are getting value at 2 out of it, right? So, if you're running piddly character, but I mean, that's part of your build then, right? So that's part of your build. So like I said, I'm sure this came out in testing. I'm curious, is that Iden Versio, or it kind of looks like a Death Trooper with the way they've got the pack up here? It kind of looks like a Death Trooper. Anyway, very, very, very cool, and I do love me the reuse die. So awesome. Let's go ahead and go back to Beckett, because I mean, we all love our characters, right? So there you have it. So Beckett, yeah. So Beckett and his theme. So that's running through. What do you guys think about this? I don't have many reps at all with the TCI meta, but again, with only 1.5 sets out, them dropping is going to increase their card pool significantly. So that's a very exciting prospect as well. So yeah, what do you guys think about this? Let me know below, right? And again, go check out the TCI stuff they have available. Like I said, they've been putting in a lot of work over the last basically year, right? I mean, we're closing in on the end of 2021. I mean, they're putting in a lot of work trying to get their framework and their systems in place, and they have a long-term game plan, right? Which is pretty cool. So anyway, I want to thank the folks at TCI for reaching out and offering me the chance to do this. I obviously enjoyed taking it and seeing your perspective on card design. I think there's some pretty solid value trades there and some interesting gameplay. So anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks again to the TCI folks. And if nothing else, go Commando.